What is going on, everybody? So I'm finally able to do my review video on the Topdon Phoenix Elite scan tool. I've been using it for a little over a month now, maybe longer than that, and I've used it on just about every vehicle that's come into the shop. And I really wanted to put it to the test and just try a bunch of different makes and models of vehicles and just see how it stacks up to the others. That's why I have these up here. The other reason I have all these other scanners up here is between all of my social media pages, YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all that jazz, I have just over about 60,000 followers. And one of the number one questions, if not the number one question I get, is what scanner should I buy? What scan tool should I buy? What's best? Is there one that works, better than the others? How much money should I spend? It's always revolving, not always, but a lot of times revolving around scanners. And then when I first popped this one up and showed pictures of it, the questions flooded in and asked me, and I wasn't comfortable enough recommending it because at that time, because I hadn't used it enough. And I don't know, and I don't like recommending something unless I use it enough to where I'm comfortable saying, yes, I would recommend you buy it. It's your hard-earned money. You work hard for it, and scanners usually aren't cheap. Now, in this instance, I will say this one's pretty affordable, which I do like, and they have some really affordable options at Topdon. So anyways, all that to be said, would I recommend the Topdon Phoenix Elite? Yes, I would. I haven't used their other scanners yet, so we'll see as future goes on if I can get some, maybe buy some. We'll see. Just depends on the fundage and all that. I'd like to try some other ones as well. But there's a website, JB Tools, is running a sale on this right now for $1,600, and you get the RD Diag 800 or something like that. So you get another smaller scanner for free, which is a smoking deal. So $1,600, you get 2 years free updates, 2-year warranty. As long as you continue I want to call it a subscription because obviously the scan tool updates itself as far as each individual vehicles and they come out with update files. So I like to call it a subscription because then it doesn't get as confusing. So as long as you renew your annual subscription, which is the annual update that they charge for, you continue with your warranty. And what I really like about Topdon, with their scan tools is if your tool breaks, they send you a loaner. So you send your scan tool in, they send you a loaner to use while they're fixing your current scan tool. And that continues as long as you keep your subscriptions or annual updates up to date. Now, granted, you can let's say you forget and you skip a year. Once you renew it, everything comes back into play as soon as you renew it and pay that annual fee, which is really, really cool. I want to say the annual updates between $800 and $900. I could be wrong. I'll make sure I put the actual number in the description of this video. I apologize. I'm unprepared with that. So let's talk about some of the things I really like and what this particular scan tool can do. One, it has topology, which is really good, especially as cars advance and you are doing CAN bus diagnosis and stuff like that. It helps a lot. Unfortunately, there are still quite a few scanners out there that don't have topology, which is really weird to me. It is ADOS capable, which is really nice as well. So you can get the ADOS upgrade and use it with ADOS, which is really cool. Another couple smaller features that I like, it has a built-in screen recorder that you can have up and you can screen record. I like that because one, when you're creating content or videos, you have that directly on the scan tool and you can use that file. But also if you need to share it or reference and go back and reference something that you're looking at, you can also record graphs and stuff as well like normally, but it's nice to be able to screen record the whole thing. Also, it does pre and post scans, which is awesome. And when you pre-scan and post-scan, you can actually email directly from the scan tool. It's not clunky or weird. My little Altel here is supposed to be able to print and do some stuff like that, and it's really, really clunky and it just doesn't work very well. This is super fluid. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. I literally share it, email it to myself, and a few minutes later, it's in my email, which is really cool. It emails the entire report, which is really, really cool. I'm trying to think of what else. Obviously, it has bidirectional controls. So anyways, all that being said, I want to give you an example of something I ran into. I was doing a 2012 Ford Fusion. I was replacing the electronic steering rack and it needed program. I was actually trying to do the reprogram before I replaced the rack because it had some chewed through wires. And long story short, I just wanted to verify that it needed a rack because I fixed the wires, got rid of most of the codes, but there was one that kept coming back, and one of the fixes for it was reprogram the steering rack. So I wanted to be sure that it wasn't a reprogram issue instead of a rack before I sold a rack to the customer. So long and short, it did need a rack. I tried programming it with my other scan tools. None of them would do it. I was able to do it with the Topdon. My other scan tools didn't even show it as an option. So when you went under steering rack in the scan tool, the tab for steering control module, there was no tab for programming on the other scan tools. On this one, it had it. I did it. And I probably did it the wrong way because I actually removed the rack the night before. I plugged the scan tool in overnight. I shut off the vehicle and disconnected the Bluetooth dongle, but I had this up in the middle of the reprogram. I came back in the morning, installed the new steering rack, because what it does is it takes the information from the old rack and then obviously programs it into the new rack. I turned the vehicle on, connected the dongle back up, and literally started it right from there. Ideally, that's not the way you want to do it, of course, but it worked. So if I really needed to, I could go pull that information off and do it with ForeScan off the internet, but this was able to do it, which was really, really cool. And the fact that the other ones didn't even show it as an option. I've done several module tests. I've done several actuator tests with this. All of them have worked extremely well. I've not had any issues with any of that. There were a couple vehicles where this either had connection issues or whatever. It has feedback tab right here on the scan tool. So we as an industry, a lot of times, especially as techs, we can complain about scan tools not working or doing something right. But the majority of people that I talk to never send in feedback or never call the companies to say, hey, this isn't working. They can't fix something unless we tell them it's broken. So I try to send in feedback anytime I can, or if there's an issue, which I believe we all should do. So hopefully that's a little side note there. I apologize. But like I said, for what this does and all the capabilities that it's at for $1,600, absolutely I recommend it. I always tell people you're going to need more than one. I work on a lot of Hondas, GMs, and Fords. So there's been plenty of instances where what I currently have did not work, and this has filled the gap. And what this didn't work on, those filled the gap. And so that's why I say multiple scan tools are needed. I could go into a whole conversation about, I believe shops should be paying for scan tools and this, that, and the other, but we will save that for another day. I basically just wanted to give you guys an idea, just a quick overview of this tool and my thoughts on it. If you're interested in like more in-depth stuff of what I'm working on, go follow me on Instagram if you have Instagram. I do daily stories and updates. It's a lot more involved and more community driven on there. It's just easier to post, you know, obviously on the story. So I posted a ton about this during that whole steering rack deal where the other scan tools didn't even show it as an option. So that was a really cool, fun discovery. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'll put in the description below the update cost. I will also put a link to Topdon's website in there. I don't have any sort of affiliate link or anything like that. Just or discount codes, I apologize, but like I said, $1,600, that's cheap, man. And you get that other scanner for free, which is, maybe I'll post that, I don't know. And then I will also post up one quick side note is they just came out with a bi-directional small scanner. So for you DIY guys, or for you techs that are just new to the industry and don't want to spend a ton on a scanner. And if your shop's not buying them, obviously you're going to need one. They just came out with a tool, and I haven't used it yet, so please take this with a grain of salt, but it's called the RD Diag Pro. It's $500, and it has bi-directional controls. I don't believe it has the same warranty. I think it's a 1-year warranty, but for $500 with bi-directional controls, that is smoking cheap. You just don't see that very often. So I can put a link to that one as well. They do sell that one on Amazon. They do not sell their higher end ones on Amazon. They like to deal with distributors directly, I guess, is what I've heard. So anyways, like I said, do you have any questions? And if you're still around, I appreciate you watching these videos. I really do. I appreciate all the support across all social media platforms. As you'll notice, I don't do much editing. There's no long intro. I try to just get to the point, although sometimes I do end up on side rants or a lot of side notes. So hopefully that's okay, though. And if you're still around and you like this type of content and you're not subscribed, obviously that helps. Subscribing, liking the videos. I will be doing more long format videos as I figure out how to edit more as far as like splicing videos together, because a lot of times I get interrupted. I run this shop by myself and I'm in the middle of recording a video and have to cut it off. And so usually I just start the entire video over, which takes up a lot of time. So I want to create more long format video because I have tons of tools that I want to share with you guys and hopefully at least just give you an idea. My goal is to just show the tool, to show you it in use or something, or give you my thoughts of how I'm using it in the shop and how it works. It may or may not work for you, but you never know until you look or you buy it, and I don't want people to have to buy it without actually seeing some sort of information on it first. So anyways, appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Thanks again.